reggae tempo up in here today. Hey y'all, how y'all doing today? It's 2:36. We getting on extra early. I know this is crazy, but today we're gonna have some interesting conversations here. And you might want to invite a friend or two to like, share, and follow along with us at this very moment. Because today is that kind of a special day for me. I have been, been on a little silence path. This last week I've been chilling. I know a lot of people been watching my Facebook page, like they watching it like they the police. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. It's great. Matter of fact, I'm okay with that. Because since you watching, you might as well watch this. You might as well. I feel some type of way. I know this energy is unusual, but you know, we're in that season of, I feel like, release. Also, that with that being said, if we're in a season of release, I also feel like we're in a season of exposure. And unfortunately, you know, people have blessed me with this opportunity, you know what I mean, to be a person that can actually say whatever I want. And I think today is that day. Because it's my opinion. It's my opinion. And, you know, just like everybody else out in society, everybody has their own opinions about things, which is great, you know. I want everybody to hold themselves accountable, hold yourselves responsible, look at different things, situations in your occurrences, watch your family, watch your friends, watch your children. Be really mindful of who you let your children hang around in this kind of day in society. Also, you know, those strange things that we keep constantly running to and talking about is the fact of, you know, you got to be mindful of who's teaching your children. Do we even talk about that? What do your children learn from the people that are actually teaching them? You know, where are the people learning from the teachers that are actually teaching them? You know what I'm saying? I sat here and thought to myself a few moments ago, and this might be a topical in conversation as well, is you know what, we wondering why our kids are so mean, ruthless, cruel, and hateful and spirited, and yet we don't even spend the majority of the time with them. We don't even spend the majority of the time with them. If your child, exactly. So if your child is in an institution, an educational institution, school, church, football team, band practice, what are they learning from the teachers that are teaching them? You know what I'm saying? Like, we supposed to be students of God, right? We forever learners. So if you're a student, then what do you think you're supposed to get? You're going to inherit your master's traits. Are you not? You're going to inherit the teacher's teachings. Ain't that something? And the way that they administer the teaching. I'm going to tell you something. When you put people in positions of power who ain't even good people, they not good people. You put people in positions of power that aren't even a good person, then what do you think the entirety of their organization, their staff, their team, their football team, their basketball team, what's the nature of the characters that you are actually impacting? You know, you ain't nothing but a student. Who did you learn from the most? Well, I've been in public education. What's the majority of your time you've been at school? If your teachers sit there and yell in your face all day long, then what you think you finna do when you leave school? I'm gonna practice and emulate what I see. I had a beautiful first kindergarten teacher. I remember her name and everything. Miss Greenwell. You know what I'm saying? Miss Greenwell still alive, kicking over there in Decatur. Miss Greenwell, if you're watching, hey there. But let me tell you, she was the sweetest woman. I always remember that, and I always wanted to be her. It's a white woman. But I always wanted to be her because she was the sweetest woman. I don't care what you see. If you see her out in public, she let you run up to her, hug her. You know, Miss Greenwell never had no kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, so your kids sit around and sit up under institutions and structures, and y'all not even paying attention. You still think it's things that you admonish and administer. What teacher hugging their kids anymore when they come in the classroom? What teachers are actually making school be like a home environment? This your second home, baby. You safe. You safe here. But if I'm struggling in school all day fighting teachers, I'm struggling all night fighting my friends, fighting the block, fighting my mama and my daddy. But the majority of my 8 hours, just like a job, been spent with other people outside my home. And who's teaching your children?
That's the question.
Who's teaching them?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
To have people even concerned about their family lineage and their family is crazy that you even question something like that. To even have to even beg families to come back to grab their children and, the community back. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all
better get out here and be safe with this. You're not even monitoring, watching the things that are right within your control.
Man.
And I don't even think people really understand what is in their control and what is not. Because we ain't even grasped, we were just talking about that. Self-regulation. So what do you know that's within your scope of control? And what is your level of control? What do you think is control? Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? Just like the old people back in the day used to talk about, I don't want no help, I don't want no free. You better not say you gonna give me anything free. But they want their Medicaid and they social assistance. So your determinations can be swapped and switch up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? On that level.
A lot of people lack structure development and discipline. To actually set it for themselves in the household. Remember how mom and dad had rules? You had to clean up chores.
Yeah.
You had to do your homework. The structure of keeping your kid in a balanced mindset is gone.
Yeah.
Because I ain't saying all parents, but the ones that it is, those are the ones we seeing outside with all this, confused mindsets of what direction to go for themselves.
Right.
It's just crazy.
It is. It really, truly is. This thing on.
No.
Okay. But, hey, Henry, what's going on? But, today we're going to get on the radio show. We'll be live going on in about 15 minutes or so. I thought it was a switch that you could hit. But, yeah, we'll be going live in about a minute or so. A few minutes. It's 45, so about 15 minutes. We'll go live in the studio. We're here today at WRFU-UCIMC and just talking, talking about some things before we actually go live in the studio today. Today we will have Miss Marilyn Dean Cleveland. I believe that she will be making her approach and making my way downtown. I don't know if she'll be walking fast or not. It used to be a song back in the day, you know what I mean? It used to be making my way downtown, walking fast, all that other stuff. Hey, Aunt Faye, how you doing? But, yeah, so we're in the studio today. We're live at WRFU-UCIMC. DJ BJ got his spiel playing in the background. I listen to everything DJ BJ be playing. So he just be doing. We were just some Rastafarians a little while ago. I don't know what the mix-up was. But, yeah, today we just live in the studio today. Talking about a lot of things that have been going on within the community. We just were discussing if the majority of the time your children are not at your disposal. They are in a educational institute where is the actual behaviors that they're learning? Because I was just talking about how we are students of God. So if you're a student of God, you're going to inherit the characteristics of them as well. So if we talk about where our kids are learning different things from, and if we really want to talk about a lot of different things, we're talking about primary educators not being of our color. So we got kids that are going to institutions right now that are being taught, but the majority of their time, 80%, I would say a good 60% of their life is in an educational institution. What are the is my question? And what characteristics from those teachers are they inheriting? That's the question. I'm good, Aunt Faye. I hope you're doing good too. But that was the question that we were asking. We trying to identify where their mindsets are right now. What's the way and how children are looking at and viewing various things, their behaviors, their countenance. I was just talking about one of my educators growing up in Decatur and going to school at Ben Franklin Elementary School. I grew up over there. I was just talking about, my kindergarten teacher being one of the best people I have ever met, and still to this day, I emulated me wanting to go back and become a teacher after her. But what kids are going to school? I very seldom hear a child say, I want to go to school to be like my teacher. Nowadays, I don't hear that at all. At all. And that makes me wonder. That makes me wonder.
You're not inspiring them.
No.
The energy you're giving off is definitely discouraging instead of encouraging.
Yeah.
People really don't look at, because like I say, even traditional teaching, and if you get stuck in one certain pattern and don't know how to elevate or pivot or just really have a masterful mindset of teaching.
Yeah, that's the key term.
Be diverse and knowing how to actually operate in many different styles of teaching.
Right.
Especially when you're trying to build an interest in somebody. What is that interest?
Yes.
Everybody ain't masterful at identifying what somebody's interest is.
Not at all.
Give them what you think is an interest, and then that's not nothing what they desire to know.
Yeah.
Because everybody, so like I said, if you had the proper home that paid attention, because a mother, father, brother, sister really supposed to know each other's gifts, skills, so they can be like, yo, he's good at
and
this.
Utilize it and implement.
This and this. So I've seen him really being interested in this, and that's something you can go off of.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm in total agreement. Okay. I'm in total agreement with that.
And you're not really getting enough information to really help with the issues that's struggling.
No.
You basically got to guess or create your version of the righteous and correct knowledge that a child's supposed to have.
That's what we finna hit on right now. I mean, and I'm not talking about right now, but when we go into dialogue and talk a little bit more, as an educator, or you can even look back on the years that you were in school. Right. Remember the years that you were in school, and remember how the teacher would work on things with you for a progressive goal. Right? So you knew what direction, and your parents, if they came to the PTA meetings, because those were the Parent-Teacher Association meetings that they were supposed to be, coming to. Parents were supposed to be coming so that they could get a grasp on who their kids' teachers were.
Right.
And then at that present time, the teacher would then make out and create an overall goal for you to complete.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
At that point in time, and I think like that right now, progressively as a teacher and in different institutions right now, that is not even a mandatory thing. Like the progressive or the goal setting portion, where we used to have it in educational institutions, that is no longer like a real requirement.
But the education system has dumbed down the growth you talking about in the 50s, 40s, 30s, 1800s. They were way more intelligent and advanced because the building structures and things that you see for us that's created came from them. And we stopped there because the next group of generations ain't the developers and the creators of the new ideas besides the stuff that, because we don't own anything.
No.
So we're not the creators. We'll keep following other people's structures to where they only training you to be better for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Give me a stack. A stack of CDs. That stack behind you. Yeah. But I'm in total compliance. I understand is getting to that point.
That's what I think those kids feel unconsciously. That even though we might not can't describe that, but that's the feeling because they know what his worth is. Because I done did and watched all y'all do all these things, and you done went to school for all these years, and you done got these certs and degrees, and you ain't getting nowhere. And then I hear you crying or going through some dad that they done mistreated you and fired you, and I know you got up every morning for 5 years or 2 years, however you did,
10 years.
dedicated to these people's organizations, and then to just be able to dismiss you as if the growth of them you wasn't a part of that.
Yeah.
You know. But
Miss Marilyn there, yeah.
But it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, I know it. I know for sure it is. Anyway. Yeah, we're going live in the studio. We'll be live in about 8 minutes. So please like and share this post as we come into the studio and talk about some various topics and some issues. I think I'm going to sign off for a little bit. We got about 2 people. I don't know if I'm going to sign off or just mute this down a little bit. We having some conversations already, Miss Marilyn. How are you?
Okay, how you doing?
I'm blessed of the Lord. Miss Marilyn Dean Cleveland has walked into the studio with us all. We appreciate her being in the studio. It's a rare, occasion. We have to honor the queen when she is here.
You better go ahead.
It's a rare occasion. We have to honor the queen when she is here. How you doing today, Miss Marilyn?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
You doing all right?
Yeah.
The walk upstairs was all right for you? Yeah. Okay. All right, taking your time now. Take your time. I know. You know what? Ain't no need to rush anyway. We still gonna get to it.
We're gonna be there when we do that.
We're gonna get to it, Today we was just talking about some various things. Before you came into the studio, I was just we were just having a conversation. I said, the majority of the time we wonder, like, what's wrong with our children's behavior, right?
They're not being raised.
Exactly, but this is my thing right here, Miss Marilyn. The majority of the time, they not even with us. Who they with? No. I'm talking about who are they with? They're inside of schools, institutions, Miss Marilyn. Where is this behavior and attitude coming from? If 60% of the time our kids ain't even with us. So that's my point. Are we talking about the educators? Are their attitudes the one that we're seeing displayed? Because what child now is talking about, I want to go to school and be a teacher? I was just telling Draper and the audience that's listening, I got a teacher, I remember her to this day. Her name is Miss Greenwell. She was my kindergarten teacher. Miss Marilyn, I went back to college because I wanted to be a teacher like her. Right? And I just recently went back to college. That's in my 40s. So I thought about her through this educational journey. But what kids do you hear about that? What kids do you hear say anything about that right now? No. But they're around the teachers for 6. Nope.
Lawyers and all
No.
that. Now you don't hear. I want to be a basketball player.
Yeah.
Or a football.
Something that's easy and fast.
Some of the worldly things that we're going through.
Yeah. But you don't hear them say that. But we were just talking about before you came in, why
just to see
our
if we
kids'
can hear
behavior.
some insight and comments for the people out
Some
there.
don't match.
So what can be
Because that's the person that they're around the most. Not even me.
African Americans, indigenous Indians.
So is that also a way that they're behaving right now? Is that all a thing right now? Are we experiencing our educators' attitudes in our children?
Listen to the show, and like I say, I hope that the world can give you
Right.
some insight and comment on some of the topics that you will be
What they
hearing.
need to.
It starts at 3.
No.
And
No.
say we're just trying to utilize the world with help and with answers.
Yeah.
To help deal with some of the issues with parenting, these kids being neglected.
Yeah.
School
Yeah.
systems need to be better with different activities and different opportunities to go
Right.
occupations that's something out there
you
for
know,
people to
pulling
learn.
hair
And just basically really coming up with things that's pushing people forward instead
No,
of just
never that.
We were raised
unnecessary
to
things
Ne-
that
and-
really
yeah.
just cater to, you know, organizations, companies, or whatever else that feel
and not
the need to
think
have some
about the
true
consequences.
actions and,
Like,
you
I'm
know,
bad. I'm
do
here,
workers
so
that's
you
want to
can't
be out here to
Mm-hmm.
change and help shape the situation
Yep.
because we're going to need more
It's a very,
educated people
very,
or
very
people who have
different
just any skills or gifts that can
vibe.
teach
But
the young
but
people to know better
I
the
feel
things
like
they
that
don't know.
has some relevance to it.
I believe it's on us.
I mean, look,
Trying to
and
go out there and find
it
here.
hit me as we were talking about
I've
different
been dealing
things
with
when
a
we were
couple
coming in, and I'm like,
trying to, you know,
we keep
establish some
trying to
things
talk
out
about
here
our
and
kids'
place my
behavior,
foot to the ground with
but
them
who are they
and hopefully
around
be
the
able to
most?
share knowledge
And that's when I'm
that I
like,
obtained from my life.
wow.
You know,
Because whatever institution they're in, they could be at school, they could be in football practice, they could be in church, they could be wherever. But who do they spend the most time with?
Behind these experiences, and in which a lot of young men don't have, you know, guidance and mentoring with to help them, you know, navigate through these challenging times, especially coming from a place when you've been in a dark place for many years, you know.
Yes, it is.
Released out here to the world and saying, just make a change.
Yeah.
But, you know, continuously working on self and in an environment where the
So
community
true.
is needed and sharing where my growth is and then telling them that
Yeah.
person is willing to display and be able to show results in action
Right.
towards, you know, people doing better and, you know, learning how to socialize and communicate and join the community. I just really believe that the more of us down in the cities that we're in, especially Decatur, and I speak on Decatur so much because I've been there so many years and got my family, my kids, wife,
So
and
true.
things there.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's important for us to actually really start to come out to these
it's so
organizations
sad.
and being supportive because we need that. We need that. We need that. We need those brothers that have been down in the penitentiary, that have been through things. Come on up and help these young men so they'll have a better look and understand.
Honestly.
You know, that's the reward.
Hey,
brother.
Ruby,
That's
what's going on?
That's the thing that's going to benefit and allow God to, you know, bless us for real.
Telling him hurry up, wrap up. I gotta go live on the radio, do my intro
you know what I'm saying?
in about 2 minutes here. Please like and share the status for us today. We're in the studio here at WRFU UCMIMC.
That other men is feeling this type of way so they can walk out here with their head high and proud that they made a legacy that changed something where they can speak on you positively because your actions are showing that. And it don't take nothing but just some free will. We ain't asking for $1 from you or anything we doing, but we need some people that's going to be stand up. I believe a man that can look at his actions and make that change is a God. He's a king because he stands for what he believes.
No, not yet. But I need to go live on the radio in about 1 minute.
Okay, well, we're going to introduce the starting of it. I just want to open up and let
Hey,
you
Kiwi.
know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And just hope y'all guys can tune in and check us out.
Hey, Kiwi. No, we're finna go live in the studio. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to us this afternoon. We're finna get ready to go live in the studio. It's almost 3 p.m. Please like and share this status for us today. Please like and share this status for us today. We'll be going live in the studio in just a few seconds here. I really appreciate you guys coming on live with us. Hey, Kiwi, like and share this status for me today. We're finna go live in the studio at WRFU UCIMC. Let your friends see it. Everybody be responsive and respectful. We are finna go live. It's almost 3 p.m. I appreciate everybody getting on with us. But thanks once again, like I always say at the beginning of this. Thanks so much for tuning in to us this afternoon. You are on live with Afternoons with Delight. And like I said, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in to us today. Before I get started in the studio, you know what I like to do. I got to announce the disclaimer. The disclaimer is our legal ID. We do this at the top of the hour, each hour that we get on. WRFU-LP Urbana. This is our disclaimer. WRFU is an open forum for the Urbana-Champaign community. Views expressed are those of the speaker, and guests. And they are not intended to represent WRFU UCIMC. Before we get started, everybody, you know what I like to do at the top of the hour. I introduce who's in the studio with me too. And today we have two special guests in the studio with us today. Let me start off with the queen of the hour. It's the queen. She has made her royal appearance, and we appreciate her coming and blessing with us her grace today. Thank you so much, Miss Marilyn. Miss Marilyn D. Cleveland.
Float right on out of here.
It is not, Miss Marilyn. You're worthy of all of that. You're worthy of all of it.
Well, thank you, dear.
Absolutely. How you doing today, Miss Marilyn?
I'm doing okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about today, but before we get started, also I have to introduce our next guest who's in the studio as well. And this is Mr. Draper. How are you today?
All right, how you doing, Mr. Mikolai?
I'm doing well. I'm blessed. You know, we made it through. Right. We're almost at the end of the week. We got a lot of things to cover within this hour. But I'm glad everybody made their appearance and made their way on down. Like I said, please, if you're on live with me. And before I get started, I'd like to say thank you to my sister Trisha, who's down in Tennessee listening, and my cousin Shannon, who is out there listening in Radio Land as well. And like I said, please all follow us, like us on Facebook, and share today. We're going to hit several topics. You know, I had started out the recording on this probably about 2:45. So if you want to go back and retract and watch this, you can begin watching about 15 minutes before we actually came on the air today. And today, you know, I had a spirit. I woke up this morning. It's been a struggle. I woke up this morning and I woke up with a week of, the Lord told me today, he said, you know what? You have not because you ask not. And that was my spirit this morning. I have not because I ask not. And, you know, I'm going to carry that countenance over. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure a lot of people are out here listening in Radio Land. You know, and I'm hopeful that people recognize that, you know, we've been in this community for quite some time now. You know, and I have devoted, I can say personally, 18 years to this community, almost 18 years of living here in situations where I had to work just to survive in this city. And I'm talking about with 4 children. You know, I had to work 2 full-time jobs in order to survive. And I'm pretty educated, you know, I like to think, pretty skilled. Your skill set's pretty high, I would think. I think I'm eloquent. I think I can speak well. I think I present well to people. Otherwise, I don't think I would be on the radio at all, right? So, you know, when you're in a situation where you're vested in a community and you never get acknowledged, right, you feel some type of way. You know, you go and you work for all these different organizations that are out here and around here, and they give the accommodation to the organization. But had the organization just been used solely, you would have got all you wanted. Right. You would have got the accommodation. You would have got the silent acknowledgement from the Lord, because that's really all this really boils down to. Because, you know, we know that when you're a spiritual person and when you have faith and you believe in God and whatever your God is, and I'm not telling anybody what they can and cannot choose. That is not my discernment or my decision to make for you what's right. But my point of saying that is to say this, right? We go through all these different situations and circumstances, and you start working for people and you work for organizations and you pour out to people. Right. And you never get an acknowledgement.
Because they seem like they don't see you.
No, they don't want to see you.
They don't want to see you.
They don't want to see you.
Because they know that you're doing things that maybe nobody else thought about, or maybe nobody ever thought to put into work. And that's it's not because you needing praise because of the things that you're doing, but you want to be seen.
Right.
You want someone to show appreciation.
Right.
And that's not being selfish.
That's not being selfish.
Real.
Right.
Being real.
Honestly.
Because all of us.
Yeah.
Want to be noticed. We want to be seen.
Yeah.
And for us to say, well, I'm not doing it to be seen.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah. No.
But somewhere on that line,
the acknowledgement.
There's somebody on the side of that line going to see you, and they're going to notice you. Oh, that's a good job. I'm happy to see you. And it's not about praise. It's about recognition, to be seen, to be appreciated.
You know what, Miss Marilyn? And we can go even deeper than the being seen and being the appreciated.
And you're going to be blessed anyway.
Right.
That's a given.
Right. And I mean, I'm not even on that scope. I understand completely. But the pressure behind being seen, I don't want that. So that could go all the way away, right? The pressure of being in the forefront, because you know what, now I am noticing a lot of different things, especially with us being on the radio, because at that point in time they think that you are but anyway, that's enough. You know, you're tangible. Like people can actually reach out and touch you when you become like a publicized figure, right? I don't mind being in the public and I don't mind dealing with people, but there's a certain level when you get to that you need to have barriers or firewalls set into place so that you're not, like, they can't reach you. You know what I mean? And that's a good topic. We got to round back to that in a little bit. But anyway, so, but even not so much as being the recognition, because I could care less about that. What I'm looking more about, especially from this community, you know, I think it should be a whole entire team that's actually out here looking for real talent. And I'm just telling you the truth. And when I'm talking about, I'm not talking about beauty. You know what I'm saying?
That inner.
Yeah, because, and I think that should be some type of legislation that's put as mandatory in some type of circuits. Literally. Because when you're talking about social services, when you're talking about people who actually have given, you know, their lives to this career, right? And given to the point of where they won't get the recognition within the circumference that they are, but people will scout for that talent elsewhere and utilize off of it, you know,
right here.
and you're right here, but you're stuck here into a sense of mind. And like I said earlier, let's talk about the cliques, because, you know, we got to talk about the cliques. You know, we have to talk about the institutions that are already set up before you even set foot in a place. You know, you can go in with full heart, full intention, full goal to think that, you know what, I'm coming with my true self. And then you can run into people who don't even really understand that all I got to do is just utilize this person for what they can do for me, and I'm not even going to be bad at. It's not even going to be a bad instance. Oh, all right, but it's not even going to be a bad instance to get it right. So after you think about this, you work in these circumferences and around these standards and with these people. And you're like, how do they get in? But how is it so mystifying and magical that you cannot? You know, and a lot of times I've sat in meetings where I'm like, that could have been an easy resolve, but because you're not invited to the table and you're off into the corner, you know what I'm saying? Right. They don't scout for the talent through this community like it could be. They don't. Because I know, like I said, we made something out of absolutely nothing, but with people with a high set of skills. Right.
Absolutely.
With a high set of skills. The standards that they get hired for in positions that they get hired for is so substandard pay.
Right.
And you're like, you put us in situations where I know for sure we are smart.
Right.
And you won't even get looked at for an opportunity like something, you know.
And that's crazy.
That is the sickening part of this.
Crazy. And
I've been here 18 years and watched them. I've been looked over so many times. I've been told that, you know, you're not good enough. You're not this. You're not that. But I'm a black woman with the same education as most of my counterparts, if not more.
Right.
How are all these things even occurring? And then when you try to confront people,
right?
Because if you know, you know,
right?
if you try to confront them, there's no backing for you.
Right.
There's no backing for you. So you just, why you get passed over. This system is corrupt. You get, you can make the complaints that you want to make to the institutions and agencies that say they will hold them accountable,
right.
and then nothing gets done.
Because the secret boule, secret
exactly.
society, secret stuff goes into
it's so
protection.
Much, yeah.
And it's a masterful scheme that actually gets done because, you know, when you don't know the game that's being played and you just a puppet, of course you're going to be rattled when things shake up, when you see that it's not what you thought it was.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the streets. You got to be savvy in these career fields because if you don't know the language and your etiquette is not there to where you can actually understand,
they used to say that.
You will get taken advantage of. You have to know your rights in these businesses and organizations.
Yeah.
You have to know what you stand for, know how to write complaints and things up there because a lot of these things like this is how you protect yourself when they attack you blindly because they know you lack the knowledge of how to defend. That's just like the law. You know what I'm saying? When people be in these counties and you knowing that they don't have none of the proper documentation, books and things for you to study to even prepare for your own case. Mm-hmm. They just sit you in a cell and threaten you or give you miscellaneous type of information why I can't get any books to study to save myself. Mm-hmm. And I'm feeling like that's the same thing with life. When I'm going to all these education systems, I need the books and education that's going to help me save myself. Don't drag me off and just make me be here to where I ain't getting no growth. And, you know, and soon when I go to the directions of learning the things that was supposed to be learned, it's not appreciated. So, you know, it's like now I can see why some of the kids may feel that school might not be important because they're not seeing none of their people, especially our men, really succeeding from that. And the massive drones because, you know, we all got CDLs. We all got construction certifications. We all got, you know, teaching certifications at the highest level, some of us, like I say, and still not getting to where we're going. And these are 5, 6, 7, 8 years of studying and learning and wasting money and in debt. You know, I'm like, it's got to be a change.
Mm-hmm. It really does.
It's got to be a change. And if people don't believe in what the change look like, well, you need to get with some people who do and have better discussions because to have a crew, a community of people that don't know how to really come in and make some real decisions, of course you can get ruled and controlled by somebody else because they figure you can't even be civilized and maintain and build your own community.
Yeah,
you know?
This is the unfortunateness of this, you know, because like I said, we've sat in this community and seen some things like I said, I wasn't going to address or talk about some certain things, but I have to. Like and these are my opinions, but my opinions can be counteracted by your actual discovery of seeing things as well, because it wasn't like we weren't the only people. Like I said, this city thing that they're doing right now where they're bringing people in from out of Chicago. So they set up this structure, and I believe that they are supposed to be hiring, if I'm not mistaken, organizations and people here within the community, like to do contract work.
Right.
And if I'm wrong, somebody will tell me online I am, but that was my understanding. In saying that, to my understanding, just like how Strides was brought in, there was an actual shelter there in place of Strides. You know, See You at Home was there, right? And then Strides came in, which they created an entire team of people to go into that institution and set it up. Instead of asking the people that was the actual staff, do you want an opportunity to work here? We were already there. You know what I'm saying? So I got to talk about something that is not a lie, but is factual. We were not approached. Let me say that as we here sitting in the studio, I'm not talking for anybody else, but we were not approached as staff to go in to the facility and run the facility instead of them hiring an outside agency. So that was kind of like I questioned a lot of movements at that point in time. And I can speak on my questioning because obviously, you know, I was unaware some things had transpired in this city concerning the shelter the other day when they were at city council. And this is not a political stance that I'm taking. I'm not a politician. I'm not agreeing with the left or the right. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm not an independent. I'm me. So, you can call me whatever you want to, but these are, like I expressed earlier, my opinions, and they do not reflect anybody else. But the difficulty that I had understanding anything, Ms. Marilyn, I was talking about, we were already working at a shelter when they brought in Stride Shelter to start. Right. And we were already working there, and we were running the shelter great. We had just got an accommodation from the city just that year. Right. So we were housing people. Everything was moving along perfectly. But I'm telling you, the people that came in, whoever the city official was at that time, and said, we gonna operate a new shelter in the community, and it's gonna be a shelter for the community, by the community, for the community. Right. I don't know. And so what ended up happening, Miss Marilyn, was, they never approached us as staff that was working the shelter that was successful. Did we want that money?
Not seen.
Never heard. Now, we never had a meeting. We never had a table side conversation. But what I don't know, like I'm finna explain too, is we don't know if that was something that was approached by the people that were in upper management, which would mean over Marco, correct?
Right.
We don't know if that conversation was ever had because we were never brought into the table, but this is what I'm talking about when you're talking about the maneuverability of the people that's in this community, how they can get what they want without ever even letting you know that they got it.
Exactly. That's exactly
You know what I'm saying?
But you don't supposed to recognize these things.
No.
See, that's the awakening.
No.
When people get to really realize the games and stuff people are playing out here.
No.
Because to have so many people out here to not really get an opportunity to really help the community. Because you got to show them.
No.
If you give them people a chance, they got to show and prove if they can do it, especially if that was the field that they actually showing you that they can actually do something.
Absolutely.
Good.
So
why
now,
would you not give them people an opportunity?
Why would you not? And this would include, and what I'm trying to get people to understand is the economic value that could have took place with that $4 million had it been vested with people that was actually in the community.
Right.
In the community, we could have purchased homes in the community.
Right.
In the community, we could have bought vehicles that were purchased with interest and money that those people are now actually spending. This is job propelling. This is job creation. This is how you build infrastructure.
Right.
And what makes me so angry after 18 years of putting in work in this community, right, is that we still got to come to the table and meet with y'all about our worth. Mm. The only thing I should come to the table and meet with you about is a check. Mm. Because at this point in time, I'm done. Like, anything that was held for the last week is going to be released in this 30-minute show today. How many minutes we got for real? In this 45-minute show we got today, right? Mm. So, and that's where I'm at today, y'all. You can talk about it. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if your job sucked and it did, then come on in. You know what I'm saying? You're welcome in this space. But I'm telling you, this is the sadness of a community where you see there is no, and I'm going ahead and say it, the leadership got to be set up right. Mm. Yeah. You got to have leadership that can see this plan before it's a problem.
Not just one plan.
Thank you.
But go beyond that.
All of it.
Plan.
All of it. You got to look over and beyond. I'm a thinker, but when I get people put around me that are in manipulative modes, because it was in a situation and I'm currently probably about to end a situation. I might get fired, but who cares? But let me tell you something. I'm finna release it all today. Sorry, baby. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
It's burning.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But this is where I'm at today. I just feel like there has to be somebody who is sitting out here and listening on this radio. I don't know if it's that gentleman from Tony's band out there in California. Connect with us. Because we do music too.
Exactly.
So I don't know what the delivery or the disponents or what we're going to do from this point in time, but I know it is going to get better. Because at this point in time, there are too many people waking up in the community that are finding discourse in what is happening and what is going on currently. And now it is starting to enrage the people that are in their 40s and 50s. You get into a point where now the 40s and 50s are the new, the flower power children of like the 60s and 70s, because now they are the creative energy that is now up against fighting for the revolution. Even when I see Posey, hey Posey, I know you listening. Even when I see Posey in her journey of what she's trying to accomplish as well, is the awakening of people to understand your rights, your responsibilities. Let's start with that. Because your responsibilities are, I see too many people who open up organizations when all of them could have just opened one chain in one building, and we all could have worked out of there with each other and just built.
Right.
But these brothers will go from one business location to this business instead of just buying the block.
Right.
Let's put our money together and buy the plot. You got 10%, I got 10%. We get 100 men with $10,000. That's $100,000.
Banks could be open.
Thank you.
Businesses could be open.
Thank you.
Churches could
It's
be
the frustration at this point in time where we in a different kind of level where the understanding people, y'all working with snakes. You know what I'm saying? You're working with snakes. And if you don't get yourself to a place and a point where you can completely break away from that establishment, they will devastate your spirit. And that spiritual attack, the spiritual attack that you get from these devils that you're around, right, will then infest your mind and cause you to live in a stricken mentality, a mentality where, you know what, if somebody has that audacity to take control of your finances to where they can control it and pull strings on you, I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be around you because you don't even care. You know what I'm saying? You don't even care. You know, people don't care about you, which is why you have to find your genuine and your real and your truest tribe. At this moment in time, we are in a crafting spirit right here. And I'm talking about they so crafty and they so creative, and they'll act like this is so good and we're your bread and butter and we're going to be here thicker to the end. I'm not lying to you, Miss Marilyn. And if you haven't seen it, I have 32 years of work experience to let you know. Every new level, like I was telling everybody that I talk to, I don't care who I talk to. I tell them every new level you get to, you experience a new devil. You experience a new devil. It's a new devil, and it's crafty and it's more creative than the last one that you thought you was up against. Because sometimes we get tricked into believing that the only devil is one that's not pale face.
Right.
We get trapped into believing that's the devil only. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When that's not true.
No doubt. You got some people that look just like you.
Look just like you.
It's even worse.
Look just like you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Will be against you from the beginning until the end, and you have no idea
of why.
Of even why. But you know what? I do know why. Because you know what? My anointing that I carry brings it. Can you handle it, though? That's what he asked me.
Preach.
Can you handle it? Miss Marilyn, you know I'm finna do it. You know I'm finna do it. I got to, because I got to tell you something. I was made for this, and that's what's so crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was made for disappointment. I was made for heartache. I was made for heartbreak. You know why?
Wow.
Because he gave me the spirit to deliver.
But do you think that there are other people that was given the same gift?
Absolutely. And those are the people. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. But those are the people that I migrate with and have family with and recourse and commune with. The people that's been let down by their biggest family. You can have 3,200 people in your family and not even talk to one.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I was made for this. You know what I'm saying?
And to speak on it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Because I know it's about 1,000 y'all out here listening. I know it's about 1,000 of y'all out here thinking the same exact thing. You know, but where are y'all? Because I'm looking for my soul tribe, and I know y'all looking for the exact same thing. And this is the problem that I'm seeing right now. We dealing with so much negative energy amongst the people. You know, they don't even know how to find joy in the simplest of things, but you got to think of it from the enemy's perspective. If you mad all the time, who gonna come to you? I was just talking to my sister the other day, yesterday, Trisha. We talking about going to Walmart. I said, I can't stand going to Walmart. I think I'm going to start ordering and picking up in the parking lot. She said, why? Don't nobody smile at you no more.
I know. They don't even
look at you.
They don't hardly want to see.
No, you ain't even.
We walk down the aisle and we see one of us. And they'll turn their head.
Yep.
What is that about?
That's my point. That's my point.
That's the teaching from
a
long time ago that we still got that same mentality.
No.
The house one and
I already know.
The field one.
Yep.
We don't want to speak to each other. We'd rather turn our head.
Yeah.
But what I do is, when they turn their head, I'll just say, hello, how you doing? And keep it moving.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you. I do the same thing. And that's what I'm saying right there. Right on the end of what you just said. You did your part.
That's right.
Let me explain something. Ain't nobody doing their parts no more. We living in a community that's already, we know we broken one to another. You already know you're broken. My gosh.
Destroyed.
Please. And then you got the nerve to come outside and be angry? So come on now.
Kids to be.
Exactly. and that's my point, is like, you have to get control of self first. But this is the problem of people. We get so wrapped up into the conception of what somebody else thought about you mattered. And that becomes all self-consuming.
That's your prison.
That is your...
Exactly. Prison. You know, to allow somebody or anything to have that control over your decisions, your feelings, your happiness, your joy, that is
the manipulation.
You know, you really, because to let somebody live in your head rent free,
Thank you.
Crazy.
That is
somebody to live in your head rent free. Who are they?
I heard
you know what I'm saying? This is what people have to really be mature, especially us getting older. We already have those experiences. So when you outgrow that childish mentality, there's no way that you should ever entertain it again, especially if it's not on the grounds of where we're respecting each other as adults. Because when you just sitting out here feuding and arguing over unnecessary things or sabotaging people's lives behind negative thinking or things that you're going through, it's horrible to try to actually build when you're dealing with disturbed and people who dealing with trauma like that. Because we're never going to get anywhere. Because if we ain't working on our own issues, there's no way that I can go out and engage and give a good personality and character to anybody else.
And that's what I said too. There's no way that, why is this a thing? Why is this a thing that we, even the commonalities between but like I said, when you don't have even... You got to teach yourself these things, maneuverabilities wise. You have to teach yourself and give yourself the same amount of grace that you give other people for self-discovery. Let me start there. With self-discovery, find out, like literally today, I would recommend, I'm not telling anybody what they should and shouldn't do. What do you like about yourself? What you dislike? I think that should be a list that you create for just yourself.
Your foundation.
Because now you know, and we're talking about in simple areas, okay? I'm talking about food, clothing, shelter. I'm talking about those things. Let's start off with that.
Health.
Yeah, health.
Definitely.
Vegetarian, vegan. I'm talking about the simple choices that you need to make for a structure to figure out the basic plan, right? Yes. The basic plan. Yes. But for your mental health, I want you to do the exact same thing. I want you to figure out what I like mentally about spiritually, emotionally? You know what I'm saying? Can I relate to people? Can I talk to people? Do I like the fact that I can communicate? Do I like the fact that people approach me with do I like to resolve issues? I'm talking about those types of things about your character that you can develop.
Right. And
the things about your character, I'm impatient. I cuss people out at the red light. Every time we get on the highway, I'm in a cussing mode. and you know, I'm talking about, and you need to work on the areas because the fruits of the spirit is the monitorization, I think, of what your principles, of what your core values should look like.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Are you patient? Are you kind?
Right.
You know, are you loyal?
Right.
You know, are you trusting?
Right.
I mean, these are all things that you should be. And amongst the things that you like and dislike, where does the fruit lay? Because one thing about somebody, see, this is what I watch. I watch people's spirit and they fruit. Because also, you know, this is what I believe. A person will show you the characteristics of their fruit. If they're going to bear you some apples, they're going to give you something, right? You know what I'm saying? But if somebody who can't bear no fruit don't display no apples and you keep going to them thinking that you're going to get some, that's the issue.
Right.
You going to somebody that can't give you and is barren on giving you what you gave to them. And that's the understanding that you must make now. Is what people will bear fruit and give you what you need in your life versus those people that will pull and take and steal and hide everything from you.
And choose somebody else.
Thank you, Andre. How dare you?
And choose somebody else.
Right. Andre. Anyway, but hey, Bubby, what you know, but I'm serious, right? So you have to think about all these different things about a person's character, about the fruit of that spirit, about how this person is delivering. You know a snake when they start to slither. Listen.
Wow.
Exactly. That's the only time that you notice a snake. A snake can be over in the corner the whole time watching you. There's nothing that you can do to find a snake. It only finds you.
Wow.
That's a word.
That's great.
I can preach on that.
Which one was that?
There's nothing that you can do to find a snake, but it'll find you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it will get all they can out of you.
I'm telling you.
And then they'll hiss on you and bite you.
So you think about this, right? Ain't no telling where this snake can be. Because you're not going to find it until it start to make a noise. You can't see it on the floor because it don't leave no tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if it's on a dirt road,
that's different.
No.
But I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah.
But you can't find it if it's just here.
Only way I see that you can actually run into the tracks of a snake unless you can kind of go look at the damage that he left behind, maybe through running through the areas of where he did his
You know
damage.
what you'll find out?
What?
A snake, you know what a snake does to the bodies that it consumes? All it does is regurgitate. It stays in its body until it depletes everything that it needs from it. So you'll see the corpse of whatever, and you know, all if you've ever had a snake before, you know what I'm saying.
Right. No,
But-
I never. Yeah, I had one, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't,
So they regurgitate
Yeah,
everything
really,
whole, right?
Right.
And everything will be like wilted down to nothing,
Right.
right?
No liquids, no
Yeah.
no
So
solids.
that's the remnants of a snake. don't you think that principle has something to do with your spirit as well? So I'm talking about when you leave people to be in control of you, which is the control that you give another person.
Yeah.
Which is why you think you see people so sucked dry, is because you know what, you dealt with that snake too long. People are looking emaciated in their face. People's bodies will become concave. Listen, when you didn't have that snake in your life too long, he done ate everything he needed to. So when people see you just a corpse.
And you don't have anything else to give.
You just a carcass.
Will drain you till you ain't got some
You
spirit
got
left to even have
nothing.
nothing.
And you don't know how to identify it, and people will notice it on you, and you won't even identify what it is because you know what? That's a spirit that's attached to you because you're still worried about what Sally said about you.
Yeah.
You can't even do it.
Just making some real big decisions, like I say, for self is important. So
absolutely.
In self-care, if you do not actually really take that self for all my time that I need to work on me and build a better me, I'm doing it. I ain't got no time to be allowing other distractions, other people's nonsense and stuff, because I'm working on the best me. You know what I'm saying?
And we're in that age.
And I feel the results of that, because the more that you actually gain, the confidence and everything, because when you know what you know, you know what you know.
Absolutely.
You know, and
absolutely.
And I believe, like I said, you have to protect that energy of stuff that you've been blessed with by God, because, like I say, just today's people, it's not meant for all of them to be around that growth when you're doing that, because it's going to piss some people off. That's some of the things going on. So you that's why I say, when you getting your blessings, you stay in covenant. Don't go outside right now, because this is not for everybody to see. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for God to allow whatever the gifts is that he got for me to explore, he going to allow it to shine so hard I can't hide it. And it's not safe to look for anybody's praise or things like that. Right. Because you don't want to build pride and ego behind fake praise that you're thinking that you're better than somebody else.
Absolutely.
And the elements of people's growth do allow them to believe that they're better than other people. And people will actually judge you totally messed up behind their belief system, because they feel that you think that you're better than them. Yeah. So you have to be very careful on the growth that you show people in the world that you're doing. Even your bad stories that you're going through, you definitely can't even allow them that, because people use so much things to hurt each other. I mean, it's crazy that, especially us, that's like our major tool we use. Anything that we can possibly even hear or assume, if it's the truth or not. We're just willing to just go out there and to humiliate somebody, and people be happy with that. You know what I'm saying? And then you wondering why a lot of respect ain't even in the air no more for anything. So, you know, the caring of things, you know, because like I say, the damage of the way how some people done each other is so horrible that it didn't cause so much distance, and you know, you alert and aware. You can't even go around somebody and feel comfortable because you don't know their intentions. And that's sad when you going around your own people, and you don't feel like they even care, you know, about even our relationship as friends or whatever. You know, because that's where the genuine stuff from. Because friendship is free.
Ain't it though?
It's not. It don't cost you nothing. You don't have to be anything. If you can assist them, whatever it is, it might be some advice. Right. It might be some help trying to accumulate some information so I can move forward. But I genuinely give you this because I want you to be better. You feel me? So I don't want you to think that, you know, I got the destructive mind to try to manipulate and get over on you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some good brothers out here that's shaking and moving and trying to make some things happen. But and I'm hoping we find each other, brother, because I'm looking for y'all, man. Let's build some of these study groups. Sisters that's got education. We ain't trying to go to the bedroom. We trying to go to this table and these.
We trying to go to the boardroom, brother.
And really get to boardrooms and start and initiate things so we can start getting these funders, because we showing them that we're equipped to come to the table.
Absolutely.
You know,
Thank you.
With everything signed, dotted, and ready to perform. You know? Because having the right team is important to anybody's success, because when a community is strong, that's when you see the power of its true growth. because they all contributed.
When you see the community is strong, the children are strong.
Exactly. Those are the future. The children are the future. So if we not, for those who want to try to still live these high mighty dreams, especially elders, and we got these kids to leave behind.
Yeah.
Some people are passing, and these kids don't even know how to retrieve the stuff that you left behind, so they really ain't gonna get it because you're not teaching them basic things that's happening with life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What about insurance? What about health? Fathers, have you told the sons about prostate cancer, things that can happen, about hygiene, shaving, putting deodorant on, cologne, these small things that these kids need to know, that these are things that boys to men learn how to do.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Going out there, knowing how to lawn the grass without it have to be a compensation.
And
you know what I'm saying? Go out there and make them kids learn. We have to go out there and get them chores and things like that. We don't get money for just acting. We have to sweep mama's bathroom and kitchen, clean up everything to earn our keep.
Right.
So when we constantly keep feeding these kids things without them earning it, we set an example so you don't have to achieve nothing and we'll give y'all everything. You know what I'm saying? So
but then what happens when there's no mother, father, or the people that gives? They're going to be left out not knowing what to do.
But that's when you understand the power of community, and that it's always a mother and father that's truly in the community that's helping people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you have that community of real people that want to see these kids do good and know how to put differences aside to just focus on the kids.
Right.
Because whatever we went through as adults, we passed that, we're grown. So, you can go your direction and I can go mine. But for doing the right thing for these kids, I'm willing to work with anybody. Because that's all I'm about, just doing for these kids and helping families that need help and mothers and families to learn how to actually be family. We need to have parenting groups, and it's no embarrassment because we all didn't have no rules to parenting. So we can actually go over some things to really see if we can be better with being parents to our children. Because some of the ways that we've been shown behind being, left out there behind drug addicted parents, and we had to figure it out on ourselves, we really need to go reprogram, because those were things that was scars to us, to have to be put all those things on your shoulders at that time. And remember, we never heard, "I'm sorry, son and mama," from our mothers and fathers who treated us like that, for allowing us to be open and express to all those traumas and things in their life. And, we had to heal from that, especially during these long time sentences behind not really having a man to teach me the right thing. Hey, son, don't do this. Hey, mom, don't do this. I had to learn everything on my own from the mud, but it cost me so much. But I thank God he gave me the strength and the knowledge to keep pushing. And I ain't gonna never stop, because I know his brothers out here working hard. And I'm proud of all my black brothers that I know that I grew up with, that's out here doing good on positive time, bro. I'm happy and proud of you, bro. If anything I could ever do to assist, y'all always know I've been the same person. And if you truly knew me, you know what I'm saying, we really had a bond and we made some sense to each other, that we respect each other's mentally. So, like I said, this is just an opportunity, to really just hear some of the thoughts and things that were a person at today, and where I see why I'm setting my goals and direction towards. So, like I said, today I'm at OKO, working, helping, trying to develop things with the youth. And, I'm focused on just trying to build communities, and in Champaign, just things like that. We networking, just trying to really get some stuff out here where they can get some good, genuine people that's willing to be on the forefront and show you that we were trying to do this work that's need to be done.
Right.
And I thank God, like I say, to prepare me for today, for everything I ever been through. That was the test that really put me for today's task. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking it head on strong, and I just ask for prayers.
That, baby.
I ask for prayers for strength to even become stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was your whole ministry. I was gonna give it to you. I was gonna let you just go ahead and put you over to the side and let you have that.
When you get on these sites,
you have to.
You want to be the correct you. You want to be the honest you. You don't want to be I ain't on gangster time. I'm not on gang time. No type of nothing like that. That's over.
Better tell it.
Because I know that lifestyle cost me so much. And I lost so many good friends and brothers behind the separation of that. And knowing that the structure of it was supposed to protect the community. How we out here beefing with each other, bro. We done lost total focus of what we was on. I don't care what you claim. I got a lot of brothers in everything. And they know it. Those who know me, y'all, I got a lot of y'all, that's my brothers I look at and everything. But I'm like, man, we got to sit out here and promote. If you don't go to the ones that you can reach, but the ones you can reach, bro, preach the same message, bro, because I'm telling the kids, don't do no shooting, don't do no fighting, don't do no violence. Man, leave all that alone, because I promise the drugs and the you know what I'm saying, interpretation and manipulation of those who actually got involved and took leadership of some of the gang titles, they misled us, bro. And the wool been pulled over our eyes, bro, and we done. You know, we got to change. So that we need to come one unit of one mindset of a culture of people that know how to live civilized and move forward. Because we're not growing nowhere with this same mentality. And it's horrible. Like I say, for any man that can watch a son, anybody's son get slaughtered and shot out there like that, now that I have sons and y'all have sons, bro, I don't want any of my kids to mistakenly do anything to none of my brother's kids or y'all kids. That's why I always promote peace. And I'm the type of brother, any misunderstanding, we can definitely talk about it. So don't think negative if anything that we come to address that how we civilizely sub and handle things. Because I think that we all think that if you approach certain men about something, that it's going to go out of hand. No, I'm intelligent enough to know, men, that we can talk and resolve things, you know, with a better manner and mindset. You know what I'm saying? So that's important to understand, too, how to do that and have courage to really be men. You know what I'm saying? Because just because an issue may have been bad, it's still a way to deal with it in a better fashion that, you know, we can learn not to treat each other like that no more. Because it's all we just learning how to treat each other and respect each other.
And teach our sons.
Yes, and teach the kids and the boys. Because right now the boys need definitely mentors and men to come on. We're trying to do a basketball camp and trying to do things up there, man. If any men know how to coach or whatever, man, come up there to OKO, man, and holler at me. And let's put some things together so we can have some games and stuff and get these guys and y'all coach them and have practice and give them activities to do. Because it's free, bro. It's free, man. Let's utilize this summer while the last coming closure and let's do something different, man. Let me see some new faces, man. You know, come on in there, man. Definitely, man. Just like I said, a little volunteer work for an hour with some and share some knowledge that y'all know that can help stir them away in the right direction. Because some of y'all, they look up to too, bro. They look up to y'all too, man.
That's a situation that we say go and support or check them out. But I understand that completely. I understand your passion for what you're doing right at this moment with the youth, especially. But however, I understand a lot is going on out here. It's 2:47 or 3:47. We're about to wrap it down. It's Marilyn Dean Cleveland. Any topics you want to cover before we end our show for the day? We got about a good 15 minutes or so.
We were talking about, friendship. We don't value friendship anymore.
No.
Wow.
We really don't. It's just the person that if you're there for them, get what you can get and move on.
Right.
Friendship is not like it used to be. It's not. Because friendship is not malice.
Right.
It's not jealousy.
Right.
It's love. It's understanding.
Right.
It's being grateful, appreciative, and love.
Right.
So we need to get back to having
Swing
friends.
See if you can get her on the microphone.
Friends.
The other way.
You can't hear me?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all I have to say.
No, I couldn't hear it on the radio. As you're speaking, your level didn't move.
Right.
If you could repeat that for us.
No, I was talking about friendship.
You know your son couldn't hear you last time, remember?
Right. Doesn't mean what it at one time meant. Friendship to me is worthy.
Yeah.
And it's worthy to be cherished.
Yeah.
I've got a friend that I grew up. We've been friends since high school.
Right.
She lives in Yuma, Arizona, and we still got that friendship. And of course, there's other people, but I've cherished their friendship. And then I've got people here that, But I'm just saying, if you have a person that is a true friend, keep that friend that will come. You call them 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
They'll be there.
Right.
I'm serious.
Right.
I hope it is still people like that.
And we got one.
I still
Sam Smith will show up.
I mean,
yes.
Hub will show up.
Man, I
mean, I really, like I said, I'm not bragging, but I do consider myself a friend that is meant to be what I am.
Yeah.
A true friend.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I gotta say. That, but if you get a person that is willing to, what they call ride or die, or so, right,
till the wheels fall off.
Right, till the wheels. You gotta keep that person because they are so far in between now. And that's all I'm gonna say right now. Right. But I do have a writing about friendship.
Do you?
Yeah. So
we'll probably hit that next week.
Yeah, because all right.
Now we gotta discuss that. So next week we're supposed to be having Kenyon on from Salvation Army, the captain.
Well, whenever.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about he's not gonna be here the whole hour, but you know what I'm saying. So we'll have time. But yeah. So I'm just hopeful that it's 3:50 already. Okay. 10 minutes.
Is that clock still? Oh yeah, it's still working.
Mm-hmm. So we got. Yeah, so we got about 10 minutes to wrap up the show. Everybody like and share this video and this status for us today, please. Really would appreciate the likes and the shares. You know, we talk about friendship. We talk about friendship. That like and share is free. That like and share is free, y'all.
Right.
That like and share is free. Y'all spend too much time on Facebook not to like and share my statuses. I'm just telling you. Hey, Bree, I was talking about the people. You know, we had a whole episode. You missed out on it. I thought you would tune in today. We were talking about the discovery of dealing with certain situations and individuals that were all trash. We talked about dealing with certain spiritual enemies that are on the job. We talked about dysfunction on the jobs too. Kiwi and Bree. We could have chimed in and had that back and forth little communication. We talked. You know what we did not talk about though was the oh my gosh, what is it called? When they play you off, the non-silent, the unmarked cues of non-verbal aggression.
Okay.
You know, when people won't say nothing when they mad at you, but they'll walk all around you. I mean, I do it with Draper when I'm mad. So you know what I'm saying? It's that same dynamic, but people pull it with you when you out in public and you're working in public institutions, like at a job, and you like,
yeah.
I don't even know y'all. I can say whatever I want to say. But why won't y'all? So I don't understand a lot of different things that are occurring. Yes, I do. Stop lying to yourself. I understand a lot of things that are occurring because they have to occur. I understand that. I understand a lot of things. Some things, you know, being made perfect is an evolution. And the revolution, I guess, when I leave up out of here is the fact that I'll be fully done. My work will be over. And I will have made perfect at that point in time. And so every day is a struggle. You know, Draper was just talking to somebody on the phone the other day, and the concept of waking up every single morning and choosing to do good is the same mentality you need to have for your mental health.
Oh, yeah.
The same mentality you need to have for your spiritual growth is that, you know what, I'm choosing this over the other because the struggle
is not yet finished
and the fight is not done. Okay. And then you find yourself on either end. So, you know, but our consistent and our constant hope and help is in the Lord that we serve, whoever that is for your life. But that's who I think is my constant resource and my reset and my overt understanding is that he's with me all the time.
The higher power.
Man,
absolutely.
In rooms that I ain't even in. You know what? And you know, we were talking about that. A lot of people think is, you know, sometimes a door shutting on you and it could be your redirection.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, I just believe wholeheartedly that my redirection is coming soon. And I'm grateful for the experiences that I have. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything. Somebody asked me that about my life the other day. Would you change anything in life? And you know what? I thought about it and I was like, I wouldn't change not one thing.
Because the direction would have changed.
Oh, yeah, it would have. You know, all my experiences aligned me to right here. So I'm grateful for that. Draper, you got about 5-6 minutes. I know you got something.
Well, I like to say, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. For those, gave me the big ups or whatever, man, I appreciate you guys because we're going to try to, especially with me, I'm going to try to come here a little bit more and hopefully be able to have different type of expressions and things about myself that I can share so you can kind of see what some of the things that I'm targeting on doing and sharing and teaching and possibly can learn here on the sites. So I can say, hey, you can say, hey, okay, this guy's working in these areas just to let the world know what the new me is about this year and moving forward. Like I say, just everybody be safe and, make sure your home is protected. Get the right foods and things in your home. Stock up on stuff that's needed because so much is going on in these states and these countries, and we got to be prepared and not be naive and not know that things will, possibly happen and change at any given minute. Be mindful of your spending on things that you are doing out there. I mean, we got to really be intelligent with our finances and things today. And that's another area that I think that a lot of us need to really get some education on financial literacy and really understanding the steps and the correct steps that we need to take in establishing our life. Because to get broken pieces of things and not really implement some, that's like useless information. And we need the right stuff being brought out here because to change the situation, you got to probably change some of the ways that you probably think. So I just practice every day a better train of thought process and my new approach on what I'm trying to implement and what I bring to the world. And I'm hoping that, like I said, if I can find other like-minded men that's out there looking to build, please reach out to me because I'm screaming for help. And I'm not sitting here trying to act like, I can figure it out by myself. But there's a lot of things going on that I feel we can do. We're a nonprofit, UCCO, also that, like I say, and we can make some things happen. All connections, open doors for everybody. And like I said, I just appreciate everybody even taking a listening ear and even checking me out. And I got my guests and stuff that was here with me, and I appreciate Ms. Light even inviting me here to even express and share on the show. Miss Marilyn Dean Cleveland, that's here. I appreciate that you coming and always sharing the warm love of an elder that's sharing the things that we missed. A lot of the young people miss that elderly feeling, man, when a grandmother or great-grandmama love you, and she's the woman that gives that to you.
Absolutely.
And
please,
feel it every time when in the presence.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, but please visit the IMC this weekend with your families. This evening, tonight, over the weekend, Miss Marilyn Dean Cleveland has her museum set up in the IMC. And you know what? We would love to support her in this. And there are too many people in this community not for that book to have been signed all the way up. So the expectation is that everybody will like and share and come on out and have a good time this weekend. I know they got a lot of different things. Right.
I'll be here on Saturday.
Right.
So if you want to come out and we can talk about, things that affect us as Black people from history. There's no shortage of when history should be not talked about.
Exactly.
So true.
Exactly.
So there's no end season.
Right.
For history.
We are a people of all seasons.
Exactly.
Yeah. So come on out if you like and join me and we can talk.
Absolutely, Miss Marilyn.
And I thank you for listening. I thank the ones that have signed the book and have come. So I'm
How much longer is it going to go? Is it going to continue on?
I think it's going to continue. And hopefully I can get a bigger space because I got so much more information. So, and there, one more thing, there's some books here that's called Your Legacy, and it's two books. One for the men, and which has I think 88 pages.
Wow!
And then I think for the men it has 44, and it goes back to a lot of the people that's from Champaign-Urbana that made Champaign Havana, what it is.
Oh, wow.
So you could come and
that would
read
be
it,
huge. That's amazing. Yeah.
And you know, and you somebody out there, mostly everybody is in that book, in those books, you know. So come out and look at it and sit down and read it or whatever.
Please come out. So the IMC is a free event hall. I mean, you can come in here, you can enjoy, embrace, walk around. I think there's tea out there if you want to sit. They have the free library here as well. So you have some amenities here that you can come, sit down, have a glass of tea and have a conversation with Miss Marilyn Dean Cleveland. Miss Marilyn, you know what? That we might make that a thing.
Okay. Like I said,
you hear me? We might make that a thing.
I hear you.
A place to come take the youth so they can actually.
I'm serious, and you know what? Just come up here and have tea with you, and we'll talk. Okay. All right, you know the development is 4:00, y'all. Oh, okay. 4:00. All right, guys. I thank you so much for tuning in to us today. Thanks so much. Appreciate everybody for listening. Miss Marilyn Dean Cleveland, Draper in the studio. Talk to you later, guys. I see you next week. And once again, you've been on Live with Afternoons with Delight. Have a great evening, everybody.
Appreciate your words, you guys.
Absolutely. Love on your people, man.
That's
Bye.
Right.